Hi, and welcome everybody to Aquamarine Home's blog. We are so excited today to be interviewing the lovely Lien Uten from Fair and Square. She's coming to us all the way from Belgium. Hi, Lien, how are you?
Hi, hello, I'm fine, Alison. How are you?
Really excited to have you here. So,
Thank you.
so Lien is going to tell us all about her amazing fair trade collective that is creating these gorgeous bags, and you might have seen them on our website. So I'll just do a little show and tell. So these are our Aquamarine Fair and Square bags. You can see we've got our little Fair and Square tag on them there. They're so cute. They're little cotton tote bags, and they've obviously got our branding on them. And yeah, so Lynn's going to tell us all about how she came up with the idea to start this amazing business and everything about what it's doing for the wonderful people that she's working with. So why don't you go ahead and just tell us a little bit about how on earth this came into being?
Yeah. So I started Fair and Square together with my partner Jonas.
Yeah.
And we actually came up with the idea while we were in India ourselves about 1.5 years ago. So Jonas, he had been volunteering 4 years before that in Pondicherry in India with an NGO called Samugam. And Samugam is actually a grassroots organization, and they work with disadvantaged people, so tribal communities, gypsy communities, basically people in India who don't get the chance to find a job, to go to school, to have a normal life. And they have a lot of different projects that they do with these people. One of them is called Jali Home, and it's a home where the children from these communities can live. They get to go to school, they get food, a bed, they even get yoga classes, and like they really have a normal kid's life. And they get a lot more chances to a better future. And one of the other projects that they also do is they have a tailor shop where the women of these communities can come and actually get a paid tailor training. So for 6 months, they get a salary to learn how to be a tailor. And then after those 6 months, they get given a sewing machine so they can actually work independently for themselves, make a living, be a role model for their children, and have a better life.
Wow, what a fantastic organization. I love that. I love the whole concept of, like teach them how to fish and then they'll eat forever kind of thing. It's just so great rather than just like, giving people handouts, actually giving them a hand up and helping them
Exactly.
to create a viable income for themselves and a living. That's just so awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So like this project was already there. So it was actually started in cooperation with an Australian woman as well, Gail Factor.
Okay.
And the Taylor project is called Sewing the Seeds. And so this project has already been in place for about 6-7 years. And a lot of women have already graduated from the program. But so when we were in India, we found out that this NGO, Samugam, that they were a bit short on money to actually make sure that all these projects could keep on existing. And that's when Jonas and I started thinking about ways to make this NGO more self-sustainable, so not 100% dependent on donations. And that's how we started to think about ways to actually commercialize this tailor shop. So to actually start selling the products that they make during their training, or even women who have graduated from the program, to actually hire them to make products that we can sell actually at first in Belgium, but right now we're already selling them all around the world.
That's so awesome.
And that's how we actually came up with the idea. So that was the first thing that we did. We started to make tote bags and string bags in the tailor shop. So it's like, this is, for example, a tote bag like the ones you have. So the cotton bags for around your shoulder, and then also this type of bag, which is like a string bag. You can like this for like a little backpack.
Just quickly tell the guys about the cotton, because that's special as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so like the whole idea behind Fair and Square is that we want to do everything, like we want to make everything in an ethical way, but we also want to make sustainable products. So with everything that we do, we ask ourselves how we can do it in the most sustainable way. And like one of the really important things is obviously the fabric that we use. So the bags are made from, it's called GOTS certified cotton, which basically means that it's organic, but it's also produced in ethical environments. So the workers, the cotton farmers, everybody who is actually involved in the process of making this cotton has a fair wage, has a safe working environment, has like, it's like all ethically correct.
That is
to say
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the main reasons why I chose you guys as well to make our bags, because you were kind of, you know, not just looking at one little tiny aspect of the production, but the whole thing from end to end. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So sorry, I interrupted you. Keep going. Tell us more about your other products.
That's all right. So yeah, we started out with actually making those tote bags and those string bags, and they already had a screen printing installation in the tailor shop. And when I say installation, I mean that they can make screen frames themselves. Right. They make them by hand, so they can actually put any type of design on those bags. And so that's when we started selling those bags in bigger numbers to Belgian organizations, companies, for example, events or merchandise, goodie bags. You can anything actually, and that's what we did the first couple of months. But like one of the main ideas around those bags is obviously also that they are reusable, so that people can use them instead of plastic shopping bags. And then we actually started working on that idea a little bit more. And then a couple months later, actually in September last year, we opened our own web shop.
Wow.
Where we offer the bags, but also other products that actually help people to avoid single-use plastics.
Yeah.
So like, I already showed you the bags, but what we also, for example, offer is bamboo straws. They come like, little bag.
Yep.
And like,
awesome.
Get a bamboo straw, you get a cleaning brush to clean them.
See this because I didn't actually know you guys were doing that. So that's
there you go. Yeah, because like plastic straws is next to plastic bags a really big problem for the environment. Yeah. And I personally think that it's also nicer to drink with the bamboo straws. They look good. You can just take them with you in your bag as an alternative for the plastic straws.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the last product that we are offering right now is like a drinking bottle.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if you can see, like there's a little fair square logo here.
Yep.
And a bamboo bottom. And these drinking bottles are really cool because they're made from recycled metals.
Oh, wow.
And they're really well insulated, so you can put water in there, but also coffee and tea. And yeah, I just think they're also really beautiful. So yeah, just all like beautiful products that we want to offer to help people to not have to use plastic bottles, plastic bags, plastic bamboo plastic straws.
Yeah.
But hopefully in the future we can offer a lot of more different products.
Fantastic. So you're developing more products as well.
Yeah, we're looking to add more products to the web shop, but all like in the same idea, like stuff that can help people to avoid waste actually in general. Yeah. So we're now looking at maybe doing the reusable menstruation cups.
Right.
Or maybe portable ashtrays, bamboo toothbrushes, stuff like that. That's like kind of products that we're looking in at the moment to add to the web shop.
Oh, that's so fantastic. I love it. Yeah. So what makes you so passionate about all of these kinds of things, do you think? Like where does this come from within you?
So I think that the part to work with the gypsy women actually and with the NGO came from just meeting them. Like we were there and we met all those people and we saw that they were living in pretty harsh conditions. Yeah. But Jonas, who had been there 4 years before that, he also said that the living circumstances had already improved a lot. Right. In the last 4 years, but because of the work that Samham does. So for us, like when we met all those people and we met the people who work for the organization and people who benefit from the organization, you meet those people and you just really want to help them. And like you see all those little kids and you really want them to be able to go to school and like to have a better future than their parents had.
Yeah.
And then, besides the fact that we wanted to help these people, me and Jonas are also really concerned about plastic pollution and the environment. And that's how we actually started using Fair and Square to not only offer those products, but also to create awareness around the whole subject.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because we both love traveling, we love nature. We just want to be able to do that for the rest of our lives. And we feel that if we don't start solving some problems in the world that we have right now, we might not have that beautiful world in 30 years. And so, it's only maybe a drip on a hot plate, or how you say that. But I think it feels really good to feel that you're at least doing a little bit and making the world a little bit cleaner and helping some people.
Right.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps, every little choice and decision. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's not realistic to imagine that we can fix absolutely everything that's wrong with the world, like all in one time, because there's so much work to do. But everybody can do some small things to make a difference, and it doesn't matter if you're not doing absolutely everything completely and utterly perfectly or whatever, because there is no such thing really. It's I just feel like it's a spectrum, and whatever you can do in your own little way to make a difference, whether it's big or small, it all counts. So absolutely. Oh, that's really exciting. And so you're mainly based in Belgium, aren't you? But you mentioned to me earlier that you were just recently in Australia. So so what were you doing over here?
So me and Jonas, we started traveling in India, and then we traveled for a couple more months in Asia, and then we went to Australia. And actually spent like 10 months in Australia on a working holiday.
Okay.
So we actually started Fair and Square and just worked on it while we were traveling. Jonas, he got back to Belgium at the end of last year. And I stayed for a couple more months in Australia, and I got back 1 month ago. That was actually just like, our plan was always to go traveling. And Fair and Square just kind of happens on the way. And then we just like worked on it when we were traveling, but we are both from Belgium. And so, now he's back in Belgium, I'm back in Belgium. So we operate from here. And also like most of our customers and most of the things we do are located in Belgium. Okay. But the nice thing is that through the wonderful internet, we can meet people from all over the world and work together with people like you. And we also now have a partnership with a store in the UK. So it's really nice to see that Fair and Square is spreading out a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, because I found you on Instagram, I think.
Yeah.
And and I'm sure there's lots of other people finding you that way as well. And I hope that they're going directly to your website and buying your beautiful products from there too. So what do you think about the kind of general attitude in Belgium and in Australia, because you spent a bit of time here, towards this kind of thing? Like obviously here in Australia, in Victoria where I live, we've just recently had plastic bags banned, thank goodness, in supermarkets, and they're in the process of trying to roll that out at the moment. We've had a few teething problems, but at least they're sort of trying to do it. Is that something that's important to people in Belgium as well?
I have to say, I was actually really surprised when I arrived in Australia and saw that there were still plastic bags in the supermarket.
Me too.
Because in Belgium, like, you will find plastic bags for sure in smaller shops and in clothing stores, for example. But most supermarkets have gotten rid of them since maybe 5-10 years. So when I came to Australia, I actually was really surprised to see that there, I actually in the supermarket had to tell the person at the counter myself to not pack my stuff in a plastic bag. And then like it was actually a bit of a coincidence, but I actually did a bit of work. I worked as a fundraiser for Greenpeace while I was in Australia, actually raising funds to get rid of the plastic bags in Coles and Woolies. And then after a while that happened. And then the next campaign that we worked on was actually to get rid of the pointless plastics. So all the cucumbers wrapped in plastic, coconuts, all the plastic that doesn't need to be there. And doing that, I really saw that in Australia, a lot of people, like the normal people, they're really concerned, and they think like, oh, I don't need all that plastic. And for them, it's more like, okay, it's the convenience. Obviously, if it's there, some of them will use it, but a lot of them are aware of the problem. But it's more like, I feel the government that wasn't really very keen to do something about it.
I agree.
Whereas in Belgium, I think the problem is here also still really big, that there's too much plastic, but it's very difficult for people to avoid it as well. So like, I think it's going, so now we don't have plastic bags anymore. They're now talking about getting rid of plastic straws in Belgium, like forbidding them in all bars and restaurants and cafes. And that's something that would be really great. But first we have to see if that really is going to happen and when it's going to happen. So there are like movements happening. We had an action called Plastic Free May during the month of May, that we were trying to motivate people to use less plastic. But it's going slowly, but it's going in the right direction, I feel, both in Australia and in Belgium, I think.
And there's definitely a growing awareness amongst people, you know, that we really need to do something about this, and people are starting to give voice to all of these campaigns, and you know, and support the lobbying against to the government to get them to actually change things. Because as you say, you know, it's one thing for the people to say that they want something, but unless the government actually legislates or changes things, then you know, the shops aren't necessarily going to change just because people say something.
Exactly.
Choice, like if they can't vote with their money somewhere else, although you know, sometimes people are able to do that, which is good. And I've seen things like in England there's been campaigns where people have taken all the unnecessary packaging off the vegetables and left them on the shelf, you know, like them in the shop. And I think there's a campaign to do that here as well. So if we start leaving all their rubbish in their own shops instead of putting it in our rubbish. So I mean, I just absolutely love what you're doing. I think it's really, really wonderful, and you know, and so beautiful that it's an end-to-end kind of solution, as I was saying before, like the fact that you're helping the people who are making the products, and you're also being careful about the sourcing of the materials that go into the products, and then the products themselves are solutions to environmental problems and social problems that we have. So that's so cool. So congratulations, and
thank you.
So what are your hopes and dreams for the future of Fair and Square? Like, if you could wave a magic wand, what would you make happen?
Well, like right now we're obviously still really, really small. We've just like actually a bit more than a week ago celebrated our first birthday. So thank you. So like right now, obviously we are already giving something back to Samugam, as in money, to help their projects, but it's not enough yet. So like we want to grow slowly, steadily, so we can actually maybe in 1 or 2 or 3 years really start like donating an amount to the project that is like really significant. But obviously, like during the first year of our existence, we were traveling, so it was not always easy to spend a lot of time on Fair and Square and to make it grow quickly. So, which is also not really bad, I think. But right now, actually, in the last couple of weeks, we've really been talking about ways to grow our business. Like on one side, that web shop, so add more products to it. On the other hand, maybe offer more personalized items, like, for example, different types of bags, different dimensions, different colors, maybe other types of reusable packaging. we're also looking at making a zero waste kit. So basically a really compact kit that people can have in their bag all the time and have with them all the time, so they don't have to produce any waste. So what would be in there is like a travel mug with a straw, with what they're called again, a spoon and a fork in one.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think a spork or a
spork. Yeah, I think it's that one. Yeah. And like a beeswax wrapper for if you go and get a sandwich somewhere. So all like little things, really compact, that you can carry with you. So when you go out for lunch or when you go grab some takeaway, that you actually have your own packaging with you.
Yeah, that sounds gorgeous. I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, and in those ways, trying to grow fair and square, so we can in the end give more money to the projects of Samugam.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what we are working on right now and what our dreams for the future are. And I think that like besides all the products that we offer and all the things that we sell, a really big part of our business is also about awareness, because obviously like everybody can, if people want to buy a drinking bottle, they can also buy it in a random store. But by posting about it and telling people about it and showing people nice pictures of our drinking bottles, we really want to make people see that it's not only about, oh, it's a beautiful product, but really by using it, you're doing something good, and just keeping people reminding of the problems around plastic pollution, and that it's not really hard to do something about it, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so admirable what you're doing. So go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you on the web. So your Instagram, Facebook, website, like obviously we'll put that all in our blog post as well. But people are dying to know.
So our website is www.fairandsquare.be. So BE as for Belgium. And then on Instagram and on Facebook, you can find us at Fair and Square BE. So without the dots, but the same as the website, actually. And that's how you can find us on Facebook and on Instagram.
Awesome. Oh, well, I hope that you get even more followers from our little broadcast. Yeah, and we'll certainly be, our bags are proudly on display in our shop, and I know that our customers love them, and hopefully we'll be able to order some more from you very soon. So thank you so much for your time today, Lien. It's been really interesting speaking with you, and so lovely to hear more about the story behind Fair and Square and all the wonderful things that you guys are doing in the world. So thanks again. Take care. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for having me. It was really nice.
My pleasure. Speak to you soon. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.